Vishnupad Ashtatarashatashmat Srila Bhaktivedānta Narayan Gosvāmī Māhārāja Srila Gurudev Ki Jai Nitil Pavishtam Vishnupad Ashtatarashatashmat Srila Bhaktivedānta Vāmana Gosvāmī Māhārāja Nitil Pavishtam Vishnupad Ashtatarashatashmat Srila Bhaktivedānta Swami Māhārāja Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Nitil Pavishta Maha Bhagavat Srila Gokshara Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Nitil Pavishta Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai Nitil Pavishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopala Patatash Raghunath Shar Gosai Prabhu Ki Jai Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Shri Hari Ras Ki Jai Prem se ko Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Vraja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Sarva Abhishta Bharata Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Radha Kund Shama Kund Ki Jai Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi Ki Jai Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai Shri Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya Ki Jai Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev Ki Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. One second. Alright. Alright, sorry about that. Dandavat Pranam Sakar Guraji. Okay, so now we are continuing on with the letters from Srila Bhaktivedānta Vāmana Gosvāmī Maharaj. We're getting close to the end. There are 128 letters, and we are going to be reading up to 105 today, so I think it'll just be a couple more days. Maybe, yeah, let's see. Letter 95. The surrendered devotee accepts whatever situation Bhagavan puts him in. Discussing Guru and Vaishnav's teachings is the only way to maintain a connection with them. Sri Guru Padma's exclusively surrendered followers always carry memory of them in their hearts. Meditation on Guru and Bhagavan's qualities aids us in truly seeing them. It will not do to chant half a lakh. Special qualification in serving Bhagavan comes from chanting 1 lakh. So this is written from Shiliguri. This is 1988. Snehaspadeshu. Dear blank, I can understand that when you do not receive my letters, many kinds of worries arise in you. Nowadays, there's simply no time to write letters. On top of that, physical illness has created more obstacles. In this world, cold, heat, and rain come. It is all agamapai, that which comes and goes repeatedly. So we definitely have to tolerate these things. We will have to accept whatever situation Sri Bhagavan is happy to put us in. This is the special attitude of the surrendered devotee. I fell ill. I do not understand who is showing you dreams of this sort. Can he not give you news of my recovery and console you? If he gave you some reassurances that took away your worries, then I too could be a little relieved. If I give my unhappiness to you, who will serve and worship Shivigraha and perform your sadhan bhajan? Be healthy and perform Hari bhajan. This is what I want. When Shri Guru and Vaishnavas disappear, we convey our faith, our shraddha in them only by cultivating and discussing their teachings and instructions. This is the only way possible to maintain a connection with them. In this world, they are our real friends and family, our own people. In this world, they are our real friends and family, our own people. Know their transcendent action to be the provisions conditioned souls and sadhaks and sadhikas require on the path of bhajan. The relationship with them is also eternal. Whatever little time one can have in their proximity is a matter of auspiciousness. One who thirsts for Hari Bhajan has no earthly hopes or aspirations. In a life of service, service is the one constant and provides inner peace. I like this. This is 95, right? Okay. What he wrote is very true. Krishna Bhakti is very rare. Guru and Vaishnavas are storehouses of Krishna Bhakti. They are the ocean of mercy. If Guru and Vaishnavas want, they can grant that extremely rare Krishna Bhakti to even fools and wretches. In this case, the qualification of the giver and receiver has been considered. If Guru and Vaishnavas are pleased with someone, Sri Bhagavan is also pleased with them. This is written in scripture. The natural state of his exclusively surrendered followers is to always carry the memory of Sri Guru Pad Padma in their hearts. It is proper for us to execute Shravan, Kirtan, and Smaran by all means. Just by remembering the divine qualities of Sri Guru and Bhagavan in the stead of direct darshan, a meditation on their forms. In the absence of direct darshan, such meditation aids us in truly seeing them. Like the gopis of Vraj, by remembering Sri Bhagavan's transcendental name, form, qualities, and pastimes, you can obtain his direct audience. He is the indwelling Paramatma of all souls. He is the supreme abode of Prem, Akila Rasa Mrita Murti, the embodiment of all nectarious ras. Sadhaks and sadhikas worship that transcendental crest jewel of connoisseurs, Sri Gopinath, by their dasya, sakya, vatsalya, or madhur prem, as befitting their nature, and thus become blessed. That transcendental ever-fresh Cupid constantly attracts conscious living beings by his gentle smile and flute. Sri Bhagavan's transcendental compassion for the infinite universes manifests as his Lila Madhurya, his pastime sweetness, his Venu Madhurya, his flute sweetness, Rup Madhurya, form sweetness, and Prem Madhurya, love sweetness. It manifests as all these sweetnesses by which the living entities become exceedingly blessed and fulfilled. By the mercy of that Bhagavan, who is affectionate like a parent to the devotees, the impossible becomes possible. And this is his unsurpassable compassion or causeless mercy. Only one pointed devotion is capable of attaining that one true object, that Vastava Vastu. full surrender or offering of the soul nexus, the Yoga Sutra of attaining that absolute truth, that Paratattva. If you all perform sadhan bhajan in said manner, perfection is inevitable. It will not do to chant Śrīnam 50,000 times. If you make a firm vow of chanting 1 lakh every day, special qualification in serving Bhagavan comes. Therefore, even if it is a struggle, you have to make time for this. Every day it is necessary to perform puja and archan of Shri Vigraha and make a practice of discussing various sacred texts. I'm just gonna save this. Earthquakes, lightning strikes, floods, too much rain, too little rain. These are all part of Adidaivak Tap, suffering inflicted by the demigods. Persons who wish to perform Hari Bhajan will perform Sadhan Bhajan while living in the midst of all this. Vishwa jadi chale jai, kandite kandite, ame ekapore rabo, kartavya sadhite. If the world goes away, I, crying and weeping, will remain alone to fulfill my duties. This is their attitude. Do Hari Bhajan without any other concerns. Know you have my affectionate blessing. Iti, your eternal well-wisher, Shri Bhaktivedānta Vāmana. That was from a poem by Rabindranath Tagore. Dandavat Pranams Raseshwari Mataji and Shamala Mataji, Indira Mataji, Madhavi Didi, and Bhakti Yoga, it says here. I have to see a photo. Okay. Okay. Special qualification is required to remember Sri Radhavinda's intimate pastimes. Śrīmad Bhagavatam provides the authoritative word on Bhagavan's incarnations. What is commonly observed as Buddha Purnima, the May full moon, pertains to Siddhartha Buddha. Okay. Vishnu or Sugata Buddha is different from Gautama or Siddhartha Buddha. Vishnu Buddha appeared on the Shukla Dvitiya of Jyeshta, the second lunar day of the bright fortnight of May-June, 1988. Snehaspadasu. Ma, your last affectionate letter dated 1/9/88 reached Kolkata Mat on time. I am particularly ashamed and sorry that I could not respond to your letters. For this, you must certainly forgive me. I understand that this time you all held Jula Yatra in your home. Sri Radha Govinda's transcendental pastimes are helpful for the bhajan of those who long to perform sadhan bhajan. However, those who are perfected, having conquered their 6 urges, have special qualification for this, for smaran of Jula Leela. Only transcendental Vrajvasis gain the qualification for Krishna's Leela Katha, or his divine loving service, which is devoid of any hankering for prestige. They have a special qualification to remember the holy names, forms, qualities, and pastimes in the context of transcendental Bhav Seva to Sri Radha Govinda. Premika Bhaktas find satisfaction for their souls in gaining this sort of qualification. In the mundane, conditioned state, one can follow the divine pastimes, Lila Anusaran, up to Vatsalya Ras. In the liberated state, One follows in the footsteps of the associates Lila Anukarana of Madhurya Ras. The Hindol Lila, written by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, should be studied under the guidance of Guru and Vaishnavas. I am giving brief answers to the questions in your last letter. Every person who is thirsty for bhajan has accepted the crest jewel of all evidence, Śrīmad Bhagavatam, the sovereign scripture, as the greatest word of proof, Shrestha Shabda Praman. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Gaudiya Goswami Guru Varga under his guidance have accepted Shri Bhagavan's 24 avatars as described in Śrīmad Bhagavatam, the immaculate Shabda Praman. From there, the Vaishnav poet Sri Jayadeva Goswami, whose very nature is transcendental, has selected 10 of Shri Krishna's Chandra's incarnations, he being the source of all incarnations, and composed the Shri Dashavatar Stotram. Thus we see that in the scriptures, only Shri Bhagavan's avatars are described. Their glories are also described and revealed in other Puranas. In this text of determining the truth regarding avatars, worldly opinions cannot be regarded highly. Besides the Gaudiya Sampradaya, everyone else wrongly thinks that such avatars are human incarnations. The holders or bearers of this sort of opinion are Sri Ramakrishna Mission and Sri Ramakrishna Mission and Bharat Sevashram in particular. They were the first to stoop to trying to dress humans up as God. Prior to this, they certainly had Sri Shankaracharya as their predecessor. On the order of Bhagavan, to benefit the living entities and make the devotees' path of sadhan bhajan free from obstacles and oppression, he bewildered the atheistic demons by preaching Chid Jada Samanvayavad and Jiva Brahmaikavad, Nirvishesh Mayavad, and other doctrines. The opportunistic atheists later became the cheap version of Brahmavadis and started neglecting and disregarding the main tattva taught by Sri Bhagavan. The seers of scripture, however, who are versed in tattva, revere the philosophy of theism and are disgusted by their firm oath and are distinguished. Why did I say disgusted? And are distinguished by their firm oath to protect the honor of the words sadhu, sadhus, shastra, and guru. In many places of scripture, we find mention of 18 different Buddhas. One of them is Vishnu's 9th avatar, Buddhadev. Ravan's guru was also one Tathagata Buddha, so-called Buddha. At present, the holy day of Buddha Purnima that is observed pertains to the Siddhartha Buddha, son of Shuddhodhana, from the city of Kapilavastu. It is described in the Buddhist text Lalita Vistar that in perfection in Bodh Gaya, at the same place the avatar Buddha attained perfection, at the base of the Bodhi tree. We, as pure Gaudiya Vaishnavas, do not revere the complete nihilism of Nirvana Mukti and Shunyavad propagated by Siddhartha Buddha. Sriman Mahaprabhu and his associates, the Gaudiya Goswami Guru Varga, have refuted Buddha's Shunyavad. The Uttara Mimamsa, or Vedanta school of philosophy, has demonstrated the insignificance of Buddhist philosophy, the Arhat philosophy, and the Pashupata and the Lakulisha doctrines, and established the immaculate Vedantic Siddhanta. Vaishnav poet Sri Jayadev Saraswati has written about the avatar Buddhadev in his Dash Avatar Stotram. Nindasiya gyavideraha shruti jata sadaya hridaya darshita pashughat. You decry the prescriptions of the Shrutis that pertain to sacrifice. Your heart brimming with compassion when you witness animal slaughter. Buddhadev, the avatar of Vishnu, criticizes and condemns the violent Vedic karma kanda. He was the first to specially preach the policy and message of ahimsa paramo dharmaha. The greatest religion is non-violence. Siddhartha Buddha later followed this conception. The Vishnu avatar Buddhadev appears in Kikata, or the region of Gaya. At the beginning of the age of Kali, which began some 5,500 years from the present moment, He appeared as a son of Anjana in the region of Gaya. This is described in Bhagavatam. There is a distinct difference between the Sadak Buddha and the Avatar Buddha. Many know the story of Shakyasingha, the Sadak Buddha. They know nothing of the history of the other Buddhas. Gaudiya Vaishnavas do not observe the birth date of the Shunyavadi Buddha, nor do they wish to honor his atheistic philosophy. Shakyasingha Buddha is no more than a very knowledgeable living entity. It would never be appropriate to consider him equal to Sri Buddha, the incarnation of Bhagavan. If you say Sugata Buddha, it refers only to the Avatar Buddha. He is never Gautam Buddha, the son of Shuddhodhan. Another name for the original Buddha, the incarnation of Vishnu, is Sugata. The Buddha avatar, who is determined to be one of the Dasha avatar and is written about in the Bhavishya Puran, the Linga Puran, and the Varaha Puran, is not Shuddhodhan's Shunyavadi son. Vaishnavas do not worship a Shunyavadi. They offer their respects to Buddha, the ninth avatar of Vishnu, who bewildered the Daitas and Danavas. The Buddha who is worshipful to the Bhagavat Sampradaya is the son of Anjana, or Ajina, and is an avatar of Bhagavan. It is written in the book Nirnaya Sindhu. The Avatar Buddha was born on the second lunar day of the bright fortnight of the month of Jeshta. The provision of his puja, namaskar, and archan is ordained for the that puja and archan is ordained for the seventh bright fortnight day of Poshamas. Interesting. I wonder what that is. This provision is mentioned in Vishnu Puran, Agni Puran, Vayu Puran, Skanda Puran, and other Puranas. If the worshippers of the various presiding demigods and goddesses, the Panchopasaks, and the pantheist Bhavishvarvadis, worship the Shunyavadi Gautam Buddha or honor the day of Buddha Purnima, it does nothing for the Sattvata Bhagavats, who follow Sanatan Dharma. Max Mueller has said, in regard to Shakyasingha Buddha, he was born in the Christian year 1477 in the city of Kapilavastu in Lumbini Forest. This city is a renowned settlement near Nepal. His father's name was Shuddhodhana. His mother's name was Maya Devi. This is well-known history. Though Anjana's son and Shuddhodhan's have the same name, they are not the same person. Vishnu Buddha's appearance place is in the Kikatari at a place called Bodh Gaya, whereas Siddhartha Buddha's birthplace is in the foothills of the Himalayas. There is much history and many accounts of Buddha. I can inform you about this in detail later. If one studies various Puranas, one gains a proper conception about Buddha. Reading the Lankavatara Sutram composed by Ravan also provides information on many subjects pertaining to the Tathagata Buddha. If you are interested in the subject, you can study it in depth. Know you have my affectionate best wishes and convey my affectionate blessings to everyone else. Iti, your eternal well-wisher, Sri Bhaktivedānta Vāmana. One who longs for his master's priti, pleasure, is priya, dear to him. The mercy of Guru and Vaishnavas dispels the conditioned soul's anarthas and aparads. Any function is made a success by heartfelt love and attachment. Remembering verses from Bhagavad Gita maintains one's composure. This is written in 1988. Snehas Padasu. Oh, let me just see. Hari Bol Prajumna Prabhu. No matter where I am for preaching, you are all advised to direct your letters to the Kolkata Math. Even if there is a delay, the letters, etc., are redirected from Kolkata to wherever I am. I found out you are at the Haridwar Mat for 7 days. I gather that the Mat's peaceful and bhajan favorable environment has attracted you. It is quite natural that a mother is pleased to receive her son's affectionate letters. You want me in Chinchura for your son's upcoming birthday. Because of my own bad luck, I have not been able to fulfill my mother's wishes for the past 2 years, for which I am deeply pained. I keep making a special effort to fulfill your order, but yet this son, due to his own misfortune, ends up breaking his promise from time to time. But this son, due to his own misfortune, ends up breaking his promise from time to time. Still, the hope is that the mother will forgive her son. Does not keep her son at her side on his birthday, or her son has been unlucky to lose this golden opportunity. Neither of these is a matter of debate any longer, as the mother is situated far enough to avoid increasing offenses by quarreling with her son. What you wrote is definitely true. The master's priti, pleasure, is what the sevak or sevika especially longs for. Desiring the pleasure of one's beloved is indeed what constitutes one's endearing quality, one's priyatva, and is a special field and state of love and attachment. Mundane pride, arrogance, and egotism deviates the living entity from the path of bhajan by means of the hankering for personal happiness. It is by the mercy of sadhu, guru, and Vaishnavas that the filth of the conditioned soul's anarthas and aparads, which are contrary to bhajan, are dispelled and their hearts attain immense sanctity. There is no reason for you to be filled with despair due to the enthusiasm and excitement that the devotees from the northern Bengal had for Guru Puja. Any sort of function is made a success by heartfelt love and attachment and faithful devotion. In your case, it is my well-contemplated opinion that your parental love for your son will grant you fulfillment in this regard. Your moral courage, your zeal and enthusiasm, and, above all, your nurturing parental love will adorn your preparations and ceremony with success in every way. There is no reason for any sort of negative thought in this regard. Vāmana hoya chanda dharar, a dwarf, a Vāman, longing to touch the moon, is the one thing, and the loving mother, Aditi, attracting Upendra Krishna in the form of Vāman, is another sort of affair. Know that neither Vāman nor anyone under his supervision has any objection to functions in Chunchura city. You will make all necessary arrangements in this regard. I understand that you received news of my physical... You see the double meaning there, right? I understand that you received news of my physical illness from the brahmacharis during the Rath Yatra in Navadvip. From the 15th October of 1987 till December, I was bedridden both in Kolkata Mat and in Deo. Later, during the time of Rath in Navadvip, and again in Borobisha, I was bedridden for a week. Right now, this sort of poor health has been written or predestined according to my lunar sign and the ascendant. You have to endure what you do not have a remedy for. If I consult various teachings, like the Gita's Matra Sparshas Tukontaya Oshna Sukadukada 2.14, the discomforts of summer and winter, happiness and distress are little more than sensory stimulation. And Dukeshvanu Dvigna Mana Sukeshu Vigata Spriha, one should not let the mind be disturbed by sorrow and be free from desires induced by joy. I find the aphorisms, the Yoga Sutras, I need to maintain my composure in regard to all these issues. Right now, I am returning to Kolkata to go to an ENT doctor for a checkup of my ears. I can barely hear anything in my right ear. Testing will take up to 10 days, and after that, therapy will start. If the cause of the condition is mucus, then medicine will treat it. Otherwise, I will end up having to get an operation, a microsurgery. Right now, a full checkup is necessary. My body is very weak. I am nearly sleepless and am hyperventilating. What will I do in this condition? I cannot really figure that out. I do not want to worry and upset you by writing you about my sickness, but it does not work. But it does not work to not tell you anything, because at every step there is an opportunity, a place for blame and criticism. I think it is impossible for me to be completely free of that. I have informed you of my physical condition. Please do not say anything to anyone. I am compelled to go out even though my body is ill. If I do not go out, I will not get anything, and it would be very difficult to keep my samsara running. I have many expenses, and many do not want to understand that. Know you have my well wishes. Iti, forever your well wisher, Sri Bhaktivedānta Vāmana. Letter 98. Puja is real and directly interactive, though considered indirect from a general perspective. Both sadhaks and siddhas engage in puja and archan. All material lust and desires are subdued through sincerity. The harsh truth of this world is that all the world's people together cannot satisfy a single person. If you keep going with patience and enthusiasm, you will not experience any inconvenience. This is written in 1989. So I was about 5 months when this was written. 5 months. Snehaspadasu. Ma, your affectionate letter dated 28/3/89 reached the Kolkata Mat on time on the date of 31/3/89. After staying 1 month and 20 days in Deoghar, I went to the Siddhabadi Mat on the date of 10/3/89. Seeing there was no chance of physical wellness in Deoghar, I quickly left. In Siddhabadi too, my health did not improve. On top of that, as the houses were not fit for habitation, I was compelled to come back to Kolkata. Knowing that your sun-scorched desert-like heart found some peace in coming to Deoghar and seeing me, I too have been somewhat relieved. Surely you were dissatisfied with me when you could not see me a second time there, but there was nothing I could do. You will become Guru Deva Tatma and render puja and archan service to Sri Vigraha, the deity, with firm. Is the puja of the Sri Vigraha or Archaleka, painting or image for worship, not direct service? Is sadhan bhajan all just theoretical? From the words of sadhu, shastra, and guru, we can gather that seva puja is real and that it is conducted in a directly interactive manner. Although it would be considered indirect from a general perspective, for one who is qualified, it is the true reality. While puja and archan is described for sadhaks and sadhikas, exalted perfected souls, siddha mahatmas are those of a very high qualification. While puja and archan is prescribed for sadhaks and sadhikas, exalted perfected souls, siddha mahatmas, are those of very high qualification, also their bhav maya prem maya seva, service consisting of transcendental sentiments and divine love, by means of puja and archan. It is not possible for a louse to be eligible for direct service, meaning it is accessible only by special qualification. Some considerations and discernments of the social civil world also come into the realm of spirituality, which is why some hurdles or restrictions have been imposed in this regard. What is absolutely mandatory in Vidyamarg, a fear of disobeying Shastra conjunctions, is inessential in Ragmarg, which is impelled by greed, and beyond all such regulation. Know that it is only by the medium of service that one gains the direct darshan of Guru and Vaishnavas.
All material lust and desires are subdued through sincerity. On the path of sadhan bhajan, it is necessary to have a spiritual guide who can provide the necessary directions at all times. As we walk the path of learning about bhakti, there is a need to rest in the exceedingly cooling of Guru and Vaishnav's feet. Only those who walk the path can make mistakes on that path. But if they strive to rectify those mistakes, their weakness of heart is dispelled and they gain inner strength in bhajan. Full surrender or auspiciousness for the soul does not happen in one day. One has to offer the heart's faithful devotion to Guru, Vaishnavas, and Bhagavan. Though he has many children, the spiritual guardian will never let you float away in the water. There is no reason for you to have this sort of unreasonable fear. Your Guru and Bhagavan will be the guides on your path and keep you going. This is great. I'm going to save this one. What number is this? 98. Haribo Ganga Didi, Dandavat Pranam. Mulling over the various troubles of family life, you want to leave your home. This is not a good idea. Even if you kill yourself trying to please someone, you cannot appease their minds. This is a natural state of affairs. All the humans of the world together cannot satisfy a single person. This is the harsh truth as related by scripture. Take this into consideration and find some solace. Just keep going and stay fixed on your main purpose. I'm not going to share this, but I just want to save this for something else. Okay. By your firm faith, all three types of aparadh will be dispelled. You will attain a good destination. There is no reason to worry. If you keep going with patience and enthusiasm, you will not experience any inconvenience. Guru, Vaishnavas, and Bhagavan are always protecting me and always will. It is your duty to carry this firm conviction in your heart at all times. Accept my affectionate best wishes. Iti, your eternal well-wisher, Śrī Bhaktivedānta Vāmana. Letter 99. To love Guru and Vaishnava, you have to equally employ your faithful devotions towards their various god brothers and your own god brothers. In the kingdom of service, there is no such thing as taking revenge. Serving as Guru instructs is more pleasing to him than serving of one's own accord. Snehhaspadasu. I cannot figure out exactly when you returned to Kolkata from Siddhapati and then went from Kolkata to Mathura Vrindavan. I understand that you are living near Dauji now. I know you have faith, devotion, belief in Guru and Vaishnavas. But if you could make a proper arrangement and settlements to keep that unbroken, it would be a matter of special delight. Heavy. If you are Guru and Vaishnavas, you have to equally employ your faithful devotions towards their various god brothers and your own god brothers. If you do not do that, you will end up trapped in the paradigm of Ekaninde Aravande E Mata Bhanda. Criticizing one while praising another makes a hypocrite. If you are to take to heart the conceptions of Sri Guru and Vaishnavas, you have to try to understand their hearts. To become acquainted with the main gist of what they want to say and turn that into a reality is called Guru Seva or Vaishnav Seva. You have to understand the situation and make proper arrangements for the tasks of service. In that case, patience, steadiness, and restraint is especially necessary. Excessive anger and murderous intent can never become the ornament of a Vaishnava or Sevak. For the servant of Guru and Vaishnavas, malice, violence, envy, pride, egotism, and arrogance are wholly rejectable. In the kingdom of service, there is no such thing as taking revenge. In such situations, restraint and tolerance are the Sevak's special virtues. I hope you can somewhat understand the gist of what I'm trying to say. However much you are content and delighted to be near me and serve, I am even more delighted if you continue in your tasks of service as per my directions. Only Guru and Vaishnavas are especially acquainted with where one must be for the beauty of service to flourish more. So I think if you can put aside your own ideas and heed the instructions and directions of Sri Guru and Vaishnavas, you will have more auspiciousness. At the moment, I think you should stay in Sri Gopinath Gaudiya Math in a steady and calm manner, keeping a cool head. I will be happy if you take responsibility for some service and worship, and some general bhog rag, offerings of food and other forms of loving worship, and other services. After partaking of prasad, you will have plenty of time to chant Sri Harinam and study various granthas. You will not have to go out for bhiksha. I will arrange for someone to provide rice, dal, spices, and other ingredients for the service there. You just need to keep all these items sorted in your little pantry. Surely, definitely convey what intentions you have in mind via letter to the Kolkata Math address. Surely, definitely too much. Anyways, if you can recruit one more sevak to be with you there, you will have some help. All I ask is that you never enter into any arguments with any of the sevaks from blank mat or the blank mat. What more? Iti, your eternal well-wisher, Sri Bhaktivedānta Vāmana. Alright. Wait, there's something I wanted to look at. Anyways, doesn't matter. Oh, that's what it is? Yes. This indent is... Oh god, I'm not going to remember that. There. Where is pen? There. That'll get my attention. Okay. Your eternal well-wisher, Sri Bhaktivedānta Vāmana. Letter 100. Instructions for a surrendered brahmachari sevak. Following the orders of Guru and Vaishnavas is the greatest service and responsibility. Vaishnav dharma is the dharma of being under guidance. Sevaks are soldiers. This is written in 1989, Snehaspadeshu. I received your letter dated 17/7/89 on the date of 21/7/89. You wrote that after Navadvip Parikrama, you went to Mathura with Shripad Narayan Māhārāja. I understood that your digestive issues started there and that your mind became very upset. I understood that as per the advice of I don't know who that is, Sar, you took Māhārāja's leave and are now at Sri Gopinath Gaudiya Math. What name begins with Sa and ends with R? Sagar? Anyways. If your body stays well there and your stomach issues go away, Then you can stay. If you understand that living in Navadvip or Vrindavan is not the main thing, and that gaining the mercy and service of Guru and Vaishnavas gives all perfection, then it was not right for you to leave Sri blank Gaudiya Math and blank Māhārāja's guidance to go to Navadvip on your own whim. If your body was unwell, then it would have been right to inform the Math management and get treatment. It was rather improper for you to go to the Dole festival of your own accord instead of doing that. The Math management will deliberate on where you can perform Hari Bhajan properly. Know that you do not have any responsibility in this. Following the orders of Guru and Vaishnavas is your greatest service and responsibility. This is a servant's beauty or ornament, his greatest virtue. A life under guidance is the life of sadhan. Vaishnav dharma is anugata dharma, the dharma of being under guidance. If the sadhak leaves the guidance or service, he deviates, chuta, from his own dharma and ends up becoming averse to the service of Achyuta Sri Bhagavan. This is great. Oops, why is it? Okay. Staying wherever you like and doing whatever service you want is not real service. Your real service lies in following the orders of the Vaishnavas. Sevaks are soldiers. They must always strive to follow the orders of the general. This is their meditation and knowledge. I understood that at present you have been engaged in temple seva and puja since the date of 18689. Know that you have my affectionate blessings, Iti, your eternal well-wisher, Shri Bhaktivedānta. Does knowledge sound right? Maybe understanding makes more sense there, right? Yeah, I'll have to look at the Bengali, but I think that would make more sense. One must repay the debt of love with love. The real result of full surrender or submission of the soul, transcending the good and bad perceived in dreams. Attachments within the realm of Maya will not trouble you if you perform bhajan as per the orders of Guru and Vaishnavas. Exemplary grahastas only want to serve Bhagavan and his devotees. Concessions for those who cannot fast due to high pitta. The importance of caring for the body as a means for sadhana and bhajan. Oh my God, so many of my changes did not get entered in. It's really concerning, actually. Okay, Kalyani Yasu. Dear, I am healthy at present. Do not even worry about this. I understood you were very happy to partake of Mahaprasad and Sri Charana Tulsi. The debt of transcendental love can truly never be repaid. Never is it possible to clear the debt of Sri Guru and Vaishnavas. One must repay the debt of love with love. Previously, if I went to your village, I would stay for 8 to 10 days. I had time then. At present, the Nambans, daughters, grandsons, and granddaughters have increased. So I am tormented by worries and lack of time. Bahu sutta sutta janamalabhilo marame hoinu hata. Many sons and daughters were born, and I became distressed at heart. Presently, I am unstable due to suffering and worry. In my old age, who will serve me? Who will feed me? And who will help me dress? That is the concern. If you would perhaps answer, how will we render direct service as women? You probably receive most of my handwritten letters. But how will I give you the opportunity of direct darshan? It is by love, fondness, and possessive attachments that a human being can keep very close even that which is very far away from him. Try to gain some peace of mind by adopting precisely that sort of loving means. The instructions of Guru and Vaishnavas, which generate auspiciousness for the soul, constitute our greatest welfare and our cherished object. We must carry that in our hearts in every respect. This is beautiful. Many of us speak of offering ourselves at Sri Guru's lotus feet. But do we really offer our souls? All of the sadhaks and sadhikas' pride and arrogance is dispelled by surrendering their souls. Atmanivedantu apade kori hoinu parama sukhi dukha dure gelo chinta na rohilo chaudike ananda dekhi ashokaya bhai amritaya dhar tomara charan dvai tahate ekhon vishrama labhiya charinu bhave bhai. One second. Okay. Having surrendered my soul at your feet, I've become supremely joyful. Sadness has gone far away. Worries no longer remain, and I see bliss in all four directions. Your 2 feet are the basis of freedom from sorrow, fear, and death. Now, gaining rest there, I have discarded the fear of material existence. This is the real result of full surrender or submission of the soul. Despite surrendering everything to Sri Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas, we keep the key to the iron safe for ourselves. This is not called real surrender or acceptance of renunciation. Scripture states that the surrendered and the renounced have the same characteristics. The real surrendered souls and actual renunciates are those who have no one on this earth other than Sri Guru and Bhagavan. One can never grasp Guru Tattva and Bhagavat Tattva by one's own meager intelligence or by studying scripture. What you said is true. Only if one obtains the causeless compassion of Guru and Bhagavan does one gain competence in all matters. Tadami buddhi yogam tang yena mam upayanti te. I give that transcendental knowledge by which they attain me. This is a special adhikar, qualification afforded by gaining that which is beyond the senses. Whatever is seen or experienced in dream sleep, all has 2 aspects. In dreams, 2 things can be seen, good and bad. As long as the mind is not fixed upon that which is beyond the senses, or the supermundane, one only experiences the 2 elements of good and bad. When one becomes established in actual truth, then one has constant vision and experience of the Sadvastu, the transcendental substance. The ku, the bad, is dispelled, and the su, the good, comes and establishes itself naturally in the heart. As long as one dwells on worldly concerns and feelings, the perception of good and bad will certainly remain. If one attains a state beyond the modes of material nature, one thinks of everything in terms of Gorer Amar Saba Bhalo. All is well because I am Gor's. If you follow the orders and directions of Guru and Vaishnavas and perform Hari Bhajan, material attachments which are produced by Maya will double. If you can chant Shrinam without offenses, your restless heart will be steadied, and you will gain the opportunity to perform sadhan bhajan properly. In such a state, mundane desires mundane lusts and desires will find no place in your heart. By the strength of Guru and Vaishnava's mercy, all our desires for sense objects, for enjoyment, and for samsara are eradicated. To become the servant of Gopi Janavallabha Sri Krishna Chandra is the natural inclination of the soul. The ultimate aspiration for our bhajan is to attain the everlasting service of Sri Radha Govinda's transcendental pastimes together. Those who are established in this kind of conception are especially fortunate. I see that some exemplary grahastas keep some proverbs framed in their home. In one place I saw written, "A contracted heart has an infinite thirst. Hopes do not, have not, and will not ever dissipate." Surely these hopes and aspirations of virtuous grahastas are in relation to the service of Shri Guru, Vaishnavas, and Bhagavan. They have the conviction that only Shraddha, Bhakti, and Prem Priti are the objects of their ultimate aspiration. They do not have any sort of mundane lust or desires. All their endeavors are especially for Krishna's sake. The only desire and focus of their life is service to Bhagavan and his devotees. I am worried to hear the news of your poor physical health. If you take medicine punctually, follow a diet, and take rest, you will recover. If the body is unwell, despair naturally fills the mind. It also disrupts the daily service and worship, chanting of Sri Nam, and study of scripture. Therefore, it is imperative to keep the body healthy. That is the only way to have the convenience of sadhan bhajan properly. If it is particularly necessary, there is no harm in eating something to quell the pitta, stomach acid, right after anik. Sri Bhagavan will not be dissatisfied or displeased with you for that. There are people who have too much pitta and are therefore incapable of fasting from water on Sri Gaura Purnima, Sri Janmashtami, and Sri Nishinga Chaturdashi. If instead of fasting and then spending 3 or 4 days ill, they take some sharabat, chilled juice, or milk, their fasts will not be destroyed. The rules and regulations of Scripture are prescribed with consideration to time, place, person, and circumstance. Shraddha Bhakti is the real truth. It is never a temporary or perishable thing. As a result of offenses, the heart of the living entity becomes hard like a thunderbolt. Once the offenses are dispelled, the once regains its strength and becomes pure, turning into Sri Bhagavan's dwelling place. It is true that a life to sadhan bhajan and devoid of bhakti has no purpose, since the human body is extremely rare and is the root of sadhan bhajan. At that time, it is absolutely necessary to utilize and care for it properly. Those who do not appreciate the need to perform sadhan bhajan fall in the category of lamentable, ignorant, fallen men of ignominious conduct and atheistic beliefs. Their time, both here and in the next world, is wasted. Guru and Vaishnavas are omniscient and do not see the faults of others. So there is hope for everyone. There is no way to not accept this. What's this word mean? Ignominious. Deserving or causing public disgrace or shame. In Chittaranjan, one mother who was very affectionate to me wrote that she recovered after I gave her medicine in a dream. I am somewhat relieved to know that. Case 2. Your loving mother fed you the medicine I gave her, and you found some reassurance. By the desire of Guru and Vaishnavas and their ambitions for our well-being, we will surely obtain the real result. Bhagavan's mercy supersedes all. It is our duty to remember this. Know you have my affectionate blessings. Iti, your eternal well-wisher, Sri Bhaktivedānta Vāmana. Snehaspadeshu. Okay, let me make up names for these people. Dang it, can't think of anything. What name begins with cha and ni? Nikunja. Nikunja begins with ni. Chaitanya. And God. Can't think of any name that begins with cha. Anyhow. Snehashpadeshu. Cha, ni, and che. I received your loving letter and replied to it. I have also discussed with you in person the standards, ideals, and rules and regulations for living in the Mat mission. Of the three of you, Che is the youngest. So if the two of you show him your love and affection and follow the rules and regulations of the Mat Mandir, Guru and Vaishnavas will be satisfied with you and shower you with their loving. Sri Blinkdas Brahmachari has been engaged as the Mat Rakshak, temple protector or temple president of Sri Blink Gaudiya Mat. It is right that you execute the tasks of service in the Mat according to his directions and wishes. It is right that you always heed him. The Mat residents should never disobey him, going here and there without asking him or receiving his permission. Vaishnav Dharma is the Dharma of Anugatya, being under guidance. A life bereft of guidance is full of chaos. If one gives up Anugatya, one will end up falling from the soul's Dharma. Shri Guru, Vaishnavas, and Bhagavan never show mercy to persons of poor character. Their lives end in vain. Sorry, 1 second. I remember before. I don't think Anugatya has a long A. But I'll have to look that up again. But let me just highlight this. I'm pretty sure it doesn't have a long A. That looks so weird, but I remember fixing that. I swear to God, none of my corrections have been entered. Okay, sorry. So if one gives up Anugatya, being under guidance, a life bereft of guidance is full of chaos. If one gives up Anugatya, he will end up falling from the soul's Dharma. Shri Guru, Vaishnavas, and Bhagavan never show mercy to persons of poor character. Their lives end in vain. For people like that, there is no possibility of their gaining any uplifting lessons or anything other than a collection of offenses from living in the house of the Guru in the Mat Mandir. I hope you never abandon service to choose such misfortune. Wow, that's heavy. I like the heavy stuff. If you can grasp the transcendental conceptions of Shri Guru and Vaishnavas and adopts the ideal they have set adopts the ideal they have set of a life of service, then you can obtain real auspiciousness. Do not ever try to imitate. In becoming a sevak, do not be the master. Do not choose the ultimate misery. Rather than giving each other instructions, it is more beneficial to try to rectify oneself. It is preferable to take chastisement and become a disciple. A person becomes a shishya or sevak if he can follow the orders and instructions of Guru and Vaishnavas unquestioningly. Oh, this is good also. If the sadhak chants a fixed number of Shrinam every day, he never has to become a karmi, gyani, or anyavilashi. If the jiva loudly performs kirtan of the Mahamantra, his anarthas are eradicated and sloth flees. It is not right for a sevak to abandon service and indulge in laziness. The sole dharma of the sevak is to always be making efforts to serve Bhagavan and his devotees. I don't know what letter this is. I think it's 102. Okay. Though village people have high regard for worldly talk, sevaks do not develop enthusiasm for that. It is best to give a bahirmukh, a spiritually averse person, the respects they want. You never have to honor or condone their worldly behavior. In collecting the ingredients for Bhagavan service, one, a brahmachari or sannyasi, must maintain respectful dealings with grihastas, but one does not need to become their slave. Vishayir anakaile malin hoiman, malin man, correct? Malin man hoile nahe Krishna smaran. If one eats the foodstuffs of sense enjoyers, one's mind becomes contaminated. With the mind contaminated, one cannot remember Krishna. Always remember this guideline. Not everyone becomes a resident Vraj just by living in Vraj. Hey, there's a difference between these two J's. Look. No, there isn't. It looks different for a second. Know that only the transcendental Vrajvasis have the qualification for Madhukari Bhiksha, be like begging for alms. To impose mundane conceptions of transcendental principle, which is beyond the modes of material nature, is the approach of the Prakrita Sahajya. To call a saintly person a rogue and to call a rogue a saint are equal offenses. The consideration of adhikar, qualification, must be accepted. To establish an unworthy person as worthy and to not accept the competence of a worthy person, both are counted as heirs of the same caliber. One second, this is important for... There, I'm just going to save this. Okay. To diminish the honor of Guru and Vaishnavas or to disrespect them either directly or indirectly by asserting one's value, honor, and prestige does not befit any Vaishnav. Instead of seeking flaws in others, if one praises even their most ordinary qualities, one's mind will find peace. For conditioned souls, judging another's virtues and flaws has been forbidden. Still, praising the virtues of another is comparatively better. If a man searches for flaws in others, often those very same flaws end up attacking him, and he falls from his path of bhajan sadhan. This soils his own heart, and many types of anxieties and worries destroy the balance of his mind. Gita's Dhyato Vishayan and Buddhi Nashat Pranashati verse perfectly illustrate this matter. To give the translation, yeah, we do. All of you sevaks should render the tasks of service in the mat together and keep the mat's daily service intact. If you become prone to mutual fighting, conflict, and disagreement, then the opportunistic party will have an opportunity to ridicule you. Never engage in such heinous activity. Heinous, right? Heinous activity. Keep an impartial view and be hard to the service of Guru and Vaishnavas. No one can ever find auspiciousness by abandoning the service of Guru and Vaishnavas. One who rejects service to the Diksha Guru and preaches that there is greater glory in serving the Vaishnavas or Shiksha Guru and Nam Guru must be given up as bad association. Service to Guru and service to Vaishnavas are of the same caliber. Know you have my best loving wishes. Iti, your eternal well-wisher, Shri Bhaktivedānta Vāmana. I'm not sure if there should be quotation marks here. Okay. Shri Guru Padma is truly the embodiment of love. Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas alone are the only essence. We must keep our hearts resolute and absorbed in Bhagavan in the midst of everything. The relationship of the Vishramba Sevak and with Sri Guru and Shri Shri Radha Krishna. Let me just look at the comments. I haven't looked at it for a while. Nimai and Chandrika. Chandrika doesn't have a long A though. The first A isn't long. The last A is long in Chandrika. And also Chandrika is I think that's a lady's name. Sorry. Nimai works though. Yeah. Okay. Snehaspadeshu. Hey. It should be Snehaspadasu. I received the affectionate letter you wrote dated 4/7/89 and addressed to the Shiliguri Mat address. This time, when I got sick, I was in Kolkata at the house of one Vaishnav Grihastha. From there, I went straight to Deoghar. Praying at the lotus feet of Sri Guru for his mercy, you've expressed your anxiety and desperation. Sri Guru Padma is truly the embodiment of love, the walking stick for those blinded by ignorance, and the supreme refuge of those wishing to attain mercy in bhakti. By Sri Gurudev's causeless mercy, even the dumb become talkative, and the lame gain the capacity to scale mountains. Talkative or voluble, I don't know what's better. It is to enjoy the fruits of our actions that we come into this material existence and ended up in a condition of bondage. That is why, even while performing all activities in this world, our main duty, Hari Bhajan, is vital. Krishna Bhaji Bharatare Sangsare Ainu. To worship Krishna, I came into the material existence. It will not do to forget this statement of the Mahājans. We will have to engage our consciousness in contemplation of Bhagavan by possible. Even in the midst of various obstacles and calamities in this material existence, we must keep our hearts resolute and engaged in Bhagavan's name, form, qualities, and narrations of his pastimes. In this theater house of 5 types of disparity, this material existence, Sri Nam and Hari, Guru and Vaishnavas, they alone are the only essence. All the affection and attachment of the world can be abandoned, and the needs of the body, home, and money can be restricted. But can we dispose of bhakti, the bhaktas, and Bhagavan? On the path of bhakti, they are indispensable. Shastra refers to humans who are devoid of thoughts of Bhagavan as animals. The Bhagavat has marked people who think of matter as spirit, and spirit as matter, as pashugna, creature-killing hunters, and gokara, and dumb cows. We cannot waste this rare human birth in neglect and frivolity. You have all offered your souls unto the lotus feet of Sri Guru, so Sri Guru, Vaishnavas, and Bhagavan are your only treasured possessions and the objects of your faithful devotion. For one who is the master of infinite universes, there is no difference between the wealthy and poor, beggars and bugs. Sri Bhagavan is the main Vishaya Vigraha, and Swarup Shakti, Srimati Radharani, is the main Ashray Vigraha. As a Manjari, Sri Guru Padma is, by constitution, the Ashray under the guidance of the main Ashray Vigraha. To the Vishramba, the intimate Sevak and Sevika, these 3 personalities are Sneha Vigraha, the objects of love, and Sneher Dulal, and Dulali, the beloved and Sneher Dulal and Dulali, the beloved and darling boy and girl. Each of these 3 figures have their own prowess, but they each accept each other's guidance. They continually express humility, and they do not regard themselves as the authority, so they are worry-free. Know that personalities yearn for love. The duty of each of us is to serve the main Ashraya and Vishaya Vigraha. It is the causeless mercy of Ashraya Vigraha, Sri Guru It is by the causeless mercy of Ashray Vigraha Shri Guru Pad Padma that said service is attained in a direct, in-person manner. These three principles of reality, Tattvavastu, are everything for those who are exclusively surrendered. The devotee who has offered up his soul conveys his prayers to stay close to these three tattvas as a particle of dust at their feet, constantly submits himself for their examination, wanting to become sincere and free from the conceits of ownership, akinchan. Their auspicious blessings and powerful words of instruction and direction are the strength, hope, and wealth of the sadhak and sadhika's lives. They're everything. It's the hope, wealth of the sadhak and sadhika's life. They're everything. I hope you are all well. Accept my best wishes and affectionate blessings. Iti, your eternal well-wisher, Sri Bhaktivedānta Vāmana. All right, here's the last letter for today. Letter 104. The sadhak only gains qualification for bhajan through the mercy of Guru and Vaishnavas. One should not go on pilgrimage without Vaishnavas. Those whose hearts are anxious to have darshan of Guru can control even Bhagavan, the system and strategy of sadhan bhajan. This is written in 1989. Snehaspadeshu. Your loving letter of the 10th of August arrived on time at Sri Shamsundar Gaudiya Math. From there, it was redirected to here, and I received it yesterday at the Haridwar Math. What you wrote is very true. No mundane object of this world can give us happiness and peace. Besides the causeless mercy of Guru and Vaishnavas, the conditioned souls can never gain real knowledge and bhakti. What qualification does a sadhak have for Hari Bhajan and Bhagavad Anushilan? If one can make the mercy of Guru and Vaishnavas one's resource, one can become properly engaged in the service of Bhagavan. Only those who have surrendered their body, mind, and soul to Guru and Vaishnavas truly submit an offering of their faith as a pushpanjali, a flower offering. The scriptures contain directives regarding going for darshan of Sri Dham and holy places in the association of Vaishnavas. If you maintain the solemn vow that you will not do anything without the order of Guru and Vaishnavas, then you should know you certainly cannot have my permission to go on pilgrimage without Vaishnavas. This is important. I understand that you have darshan of Sri Gurudev in most of your dreams. You will also receive shakshat darshan, direct darshan of Bhagavan in this manner in your dreams. If the heart's passion, love, and affection are there, then one surely obtains the opportunity of direct darshan and seva. Even Guru and Vaishnavas are grateful and indebted to sevaks like you. Those whose hearts are anxious to have darshan of Guru can control even Bhagavan. The profound conduct and teachings of Vaishnavas specially enlighten the jivas on the path of sadhan bhajan. In the material world, samsara, one has to act like a materialist, a samsari, and in one's heart, one's eternal cultivation of dharma goes on. This is the system and strategy of sadhan bhajan. Yoga karmasu koshalam. Yoga is expertise in action. The desire to gain pure devotion, having given up the mundane efforts of karma, gyan, yoga, and so on, is the real fruit of action related to Hari. This sort of attitude affects all the worthiness and qualification needed to perform sadhan bhajan and service to Guru and Vaishnavas, and to obtain prem bhakti. If one has conviction, all hopes in the field of sadhan are fulfilled. Drinking undiluted milk surely nourishes the soul. Partaking of adulterated items will inevitably cause harm to one's health. In all situations, a touchstone grants all items an elevated state. Of that, there is no doubt. Due to the results of my previous actions, I fell ill from time to time. Then, by the causeless mercy of Shri Guru, Vaishnavas, and Bhagavan, I recover my health somewhat. The sadhak's untiring labor and acceptance of renunciation are also special aids in this regard. It is by their conviction and service and the bonds of their love and affection that I become healthy, so I am indebted and grateful to them too. Iti, your eternal well-wisher, Sri Bhaktivedānta Vāmana. Alright, so that's our reading for today. Let's see how much more we have left. Oh, we'll be finished with in 3 days. Looks like, huh? Another 3 days. And then we will read his biography, which is so beautiful. So beautiful. And then a beautiful glorification of him, like how he embodies the 26 qualities of a Vaishnava. All right. Oh, wait. Let me just save this before I forget to do this. 104. All right. Dandavat pranams, everybody. Let me go back to the video. Yeah. Okay. Chandrika is the name of the moon god. No, I don't have an ebook. But I think after we send it to the printers, after some time, it will also be available in PDF. So, and yeah, I mean, you can, yeah. That's all there is right now. I've been posting all these quotes on my Facebook page. All right, everybody, I'm going to sign up now. Thank you for reading with me, and see you all tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Shri Vāmana Gosvāmī Māhārāja, Jai Shri Gurudev, Hari Bol.